Hey guys, and welcome to Biscuits Total War. This is Biscuits giving you a 1 versus 1 historical battle. Now this battle was played between myself and another subscriber to my channel. This guy's called Thelast Legion. Now he actually runs his own YouTube channel and he's put up a few historical battles. He's actually put this battle up on his channel, so if you want to see it from his point of view, go and check it out. Now we did a couple of battles together. The first battle that we did, I played as the Scipii, which I'm doing at the moment, and then he played as the Julii, as you can see. But we're playing on this map, which is called the, I think it's the Moon River or Jordan River. But with this map, because it's 1 versus 1, the actual map is actually smaller. When you do this map on a 2 versus 2, you notice this map is actually quite slightly bigger. Now, when I did this battle initially with him, I pressed W on top of my cav just to try and run them away from his cav that were attacking mine, but I didn't realise how close this red line is, and effectively half of my cav ran off the actual battlefield. So understandably I was a bit annoyed with myself and what I'd done there, because I didn't realise where this red line was. Anyway, we did the battle again, and this is the second attempt at doing the battle. Now it's a historic battle, so what we're trying to do is reenact a famous battle between Pompey, which is played by myself, versus Julius Caesar. Now in the actual real historical battle, Julius Caesar won. Julius Caesar took over and Pompey ran off to live in Egypt. Now I'm no historical, I like watching documentaries and learning stuff, but as far as this era goes, I'm not an expert at the end of the day. But if you want to learn more about the actual battle and what actually happened, go check out Thelast Legion's YouTube channel, and I'll put a link to it. So I'm just going to triple speed it for a few moments. Now, the reason why we played on this map is historically it did actually take place on the side of a river. Pompey had the higher ground. Julius Caesar had the lower ground. Julius Caesar had the better troops, higher upgrades. My guys were newer, but had more numbers, but basically less experience. So what I'm going to do first of all is get my guys into a formation. Now what I'm going to try and do is use some 31k tactics to try and defeat Julius Caesar. I'm sure Pompey wasn't thinking that when he did his battle. But that's the way I'm going to play it. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 early legendary cohorts with no upgrades, and then I've got an auxilia with no upgrades at the front there to act as a meat shield against any peeler, and then I've got another auxilia to basically help out of my equites. All of these guys none upgraded, and then I've got 2 Roman cav in wedge formation, again not upgraded, and a general's bodyguard with a few upgrades on that. Now if we compare it to the Thelast Legion's army, aka Julius Caesar, he's got less troops, but they've got gold, practically upgrades, as well as experience chevrons, so they're basically a better force. And at the end of the day, when you're playing Rome Total War, it tends to be its quality over quantity in most occasions. So his guys are marching forward, which is good. I've sent my general at the front just to basically try and entice them to come forward. I was hoping he might try and get the bait and run forward. The next thing that he's doing is getting his guys into peeler range. Now if he does launch his peeler, it's going to go into my auxilia, which won't really do too much damage. So I've thrown off the first volley of peeler, and the second volley. He's throwing off his volleys, but they're only going into the auxilia. I've put these guys into testudo just to try and prevent any peeler damage. And again, swinging these guys around the side. Now what he's going to do, he's going to use his general's bodyguard and his upgraded cav probably to try and attack my guys over here. The minute he starts to advance, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a wedge formation and charge straight through the lines here, and hopefully cause a rout on these 2 units. I'm not too bothered about the equites at the end of the day. they can just hold their ground. What I need to do is just basically rout as many of these units as I possibly can. So I'm going to go in with another hammer and anvil charge here at the back of these Romans. Because I've got such high upgrades compared to my non-upgraded units, it's hard to try and mass rout them. But I've managed to rout 2. I'm going to pull these 2 cav back and probably aim for these guys. If I can try and rout this infantry, then all I need to do is somehow just surround this cav and I should be able to beat them. So I'm going in for another cav charge here. Those guys are routed. I'm going to try and do the same for these guys here. Now that he's coming with his cav, I need to try and encircle his units by using my equites and any units I possibly can, because in a prolonged 1-to-1 melee fight he should be able to win because of his higher upgrades. Just going to finish off this last unit with a cav charge in 2 moments. As you can see, my guys are slowly starting to rout here. So they're going to come in with a nice charge. Those are routed. Now Pompey, what I need to do is get him out. I don't want him to rout or be killed. If he routs and dies, it's going to cause panic within my guys. But luckily, we've managed to fend off that cav attack, and it's just a case of killing Julius Caesar now. So he'll be somewhere in this melee fight. Hopefully we can finish him off and rewrite the history books. There we go. So it's a nice little win there. Hope you guys enjoy that. Something slightly different to my channel, bit of a historic video, and it's not 31k and it's not on the grassy flatlands, so I hope you guys enjoy that. I'm also going to do the second leg where we basically reverse the armies, so we use exactly the same builds, but this time I'll play as Julius Caesar and the last Roman here play as Pompey. So I'm just going to load up that video now. Okay, so this is the second leg. So we've reversed the sides, and basically I've gone for a very similar tactic. What I've done, I've got my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legendary cohorts, early legendary cohorts, put them in a line, and I've got my auxiliary to act as a peeler screen. Now what I want to try and do is get him to attack me, because if I can fight in the woods, it's going to give me a bonus if he tries to use his cav. And he's got the cav advantage. He's got certainly more cav than what I've got. I've only got 2 units opposed to his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. But I've got better upgrades. But at the end of the day, if he can encircle my guys and get a decent charge, he should be able to rout me quite easily. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move my guys around backwards and forwards here. I'm conscious that he's got the higher ground, so also at the same time I do want to somehow try and get that higher ground. Now I'm sitting here waiting for him to advance. I can see he's coming towards me, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and swing my guys up here, because there's less of a incline there, to try and nullify the advantage of the hill. So I'm just going to rush my guys forward. Now I could see that his cav's here, so what I thought I'd do, I'd peel off this auxiliary, put them in guard mode and just put them around here, just in case he does try and charge with his cav, because my guys have got pretty good upgrades in comparison to these weaker units here. So these guys will be able to hold their ground for a tiny bit. Then gone in for a counter charge, and I managed to rout a couple of the units. Now we're going to pull the cav back out and get my infantry back into a decent formation. But what he has done, he's engaged his cav and he's engaged his general, but by doing that he's gone straight into my lines, and I've managed to encircle the unit. By encircling the unit, I should be able to finish Pompey. Good little thing that he's doing, he's using the ult attack with his cav, therefore it's giving his guys a better chance at beating mine. But his general is now gone. As his guys have got no upgrades, it's now going to be a case of wrapping my cav around the back and just doing a decent hammer and anvil charge. I don't need to worry about these equites. These equites aren't going to do really much damage at all. There's a Roman cav unit there, but again, it's got no upgrades. It's not really going to do too much damage. All I need to do is just get myself into a decent line, and then swing my cav around. If I can do that, I should be able to win this. So hopefully, if I can get all these guys engaged, I'll do one nice big hammer and anvil charge and basically rout as many of these units as possible. But it looks like the last legion is probably going to be quite transfixed and trying to take out my general. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to run him around, and hopefully I can draw off a couple of his units just to basically chase my guy. One of the last legion's cav units has come back. I'm not sure if he's noticed that yet, but I've gone in for a cav charge, managed to rout one, gone in for another cav charge. I'm going to pull these guys back. Again, I'm hoping it's going to follow my cav with his infantry. I'll pull this cav out and probably aim around for a charge around there, just to try and maximise the rout. And there we go, of course they chain rout already. My Roman general is just basically running around. I can outrun these guys, and by them chasing them, they've run down to the lower ground. So I just pull my guys back. I can now take the upper ground. So what I've managed to do there, I've managed to basically turn the tables around. I've managed to take that higher ground. By taking that higher ground, I'll have the advantage. My guys have got the upper, the higher upgrades, so I've got that advantage now. And now also, as a third advantage, I've now got more men. So it's pretty much in the bag now at this stage. I'm just mopping up the reminiscence of the Pompey's army. I'll just double speed it for a few moments. Just going to get my guys back into another decent formation. Charging my general over in the background just to finish off that cav unit. Last legion's going to go in for last one heroic charge. But again, I've got my guys as a peeler screen there at the front to lessen the effect of that charge, and then I can do a counter charge with my guys, and that causes an instantaneous rout. So really well played there for the last Roman. I'll put a little link to his channel. If you do want to check out more historical information about this battle, go and check out his video. It's a nice convincing win there for myself. As I say, we played 3 historical battles. I've hosted the second two. The first one I did, I lost. I made that stupid blunder by pressing the W button to try and withdraw my troops, to try and out-skirmish him, but I just ran them off the battlefield. So I was kicking myself well and truly when I did that. So let me guys what you think of this video. If you like it, please put a little comment. If there's been any interest at all, please put your thumbs up. Really do appreciate the feedback that I get, and go and check out the Last Legion's channel. This is Biscuits signing out, and thanking you so much again for your time for checking out this video. Bye now.